welcome back to Zoo Review. Today we are here at the Great Plains Zoo and Delbridge Museum in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This is a smaller zoo with about over 1,000 species of animals though. They are part of the Associations of Zoos and Aquariums, which is one of the top accreditation facilities in the United States. So thanks for coming back and watching, and I hope you enjoy coming and checking it out with us. So right as we enter the zoo, we start off in the museum here. I believe they have their gates open in the summer for entrance outside in the summer hours, but they just haven't changed it yet. So we come into the museum. They have a really cool little touch screen display here, which clearly Tobias is having fun on. It's just different animal screens, and it changes as you walk on it. And then they have this little mongoose exhibit over here, which has a lot of fun little windows down below and a little bubble that kids can pop up in and check out, which is pretty neat. They have dwarf mongoose and hornbill in here. Vanderdecker's hornbill to be exact. They have a fun little colony, lots of different hidey holes and things. And I like that these are all at kids' height for them to check out. And then over here they have a fun little play area that you can come into. And it's just got little sections where kids can pretend to be a zoo vet or different things like that to play with, different things to dress up with. And they have little signs with the zookeepers around too. So most of the animals in here were donated by a big game hunter who later went on to strongly support conservation of these animals. So this was his personal collection, and it came to begin the museum, and it grew from there. They do have a lot of signs with little buttons, so you can hear the different noises. This is one of their more recent exhibits built. I think it's their current newest, with the bear one looking to be the next. It's got some nice signage in here talking about the these are snow macaques. It just talks about how they're endangered and why.
Yeah, monkey. Say monkey.
And some different expressions that they do. So there's a lot of climbing area in here for them.
You see 'em?
Okay, look back over here. These guys are playing. Do you see them, Tobias?
See the monkeys?
No.
Are they right there?
Yeah.
Oh, there they are, yeah.
Now this zoo does have a breeding program for their macaques, and they have had several births here in the past 2 years, which is pretty cool because they are such an endangered species. They have another viewing area just over there, that little building we're going to go check out. They have more signage on this side, which I really like. For me, signage is really important. It's a great way to be a little bit more interactive with the public, and you know, to really let us get an insight for what these animals are like. Obviously we all like seeing the actual animals too, but you can give so much more information off of a simple little sign like this. Little macaques just having a blast up there right now. All three of them. They actually received an award from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums for this exhibit, which is pretty neat. So it just shows that, again, they're part of that organization and how nice and state-of-the-art this exhibit is. So this is a nice little sheltered viewing area, which is good because it gives you a chance to get out of the weather. And again, a lot of nice signage. Just a lot of the same signs that are in the last viewing area, but it's still nice to be able to check it out. What do you see, bud? Yeah? And you can see they have this nice little pool. And the nice thing about these macaques is they're able to be out in all types of weather as well. It's very snowy in their natural environment, so the South Dakota winter is not going to bother them very much. You can kind of see there's actually quite a few back there playing up there, and there are some PVC, I'm assuming are feeders or toys up here too. And there's a couple of those hanging around. Also, for a zoo that's part of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, one of their strict guidelines is a lot of enrichment, especially for primates. And enrichment's just anything that helps to stimulate the animal for the day, or to stimulate their minds, to get them doing some behaviors.
Did you see? Oh, he's right there. Say hi, monkey. He's getting a drink. See it? Nice. Woo! He startled him. He goes back to his branch. Whoa! Crazy jump.
So there are the emus. Looks like they have some hanging branches for enrichment today. A little barn over there, so they can go in if they want. Just do. Look at them run though. Oh, it looks like there's one. They got a little shade structure under there. Another one right here. Looks like they're having a snack. So here we are in their primate building. This is their squirrel monkey exhibit.
Looks like in the springtime they can go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have outdoor exhibits on each of these enclosures, but they're all closed at the moment. They have gibbons over here, or yeah, Siamese gibbons. It's hard to see through this glass. Two of them eating back there. Nice little hammock for them.
Oh, looks like they just got fed.
And they do have some nice signage up on over here. And they have these fun little leaf hammocks that just kind of add some environment to it.
monkeys. That's neat. They look like big skunks. Yeah, skunk monkeys. Yeah, you see them? See? Nom nom nom.
And then over here they have ring-tailed lemurs. Looks like one just went in a room down there, so they have some off exhibit areas as well they can get to. Someone's hanging out up there.
Ooh, look at him jump.
Okay.
Look at those fingers.
So here they have another little pond with some different ducks. They have some little signs just telling you the types of ducks and where they're from along the bottom here. Looks like we got some different ones over here. Some eiders. Ruddy duck. Let's see what we got. We got spectacled eider. Not seeing any harlequin. Scoter and Sioux. Alright, so here we got some looks like they're sharing it with a few wild mallards. Not so happily. Terns and Humboldt penguins.
Is he, buddy? Penguin?
These guys are actually African penguins, which means they're more used to a warmer climate than what you normally think of with penguins with the snow and ice. There's a tern hanging out up there. Looks like he's just getting something to eat.
Oh, there he goes. He's got something in his mouth. Oh, there's a couple of terns right below you, Angie.
Ooh. Look at these guys down here.
Yeah, pool.
See, there's little rock crevices for these guys to go into. They don't have it where you can have access to the animals directly, but there's little feeding stations. Jacob's sheep. It's pretty muddy, but it did rain recently here. They have little feeding stations set throughout, and they have these little cubbies that you can feed the animals through.
He's hitting the fence. I don't think you want me to stop petting him.
Are you challenging the goat?
No, I'm petting him.
They have this fun little bridge for the goats between exhibits too.
You think, bud?
You come say hi? I don't have any food for you. She says, hello, do you have a snack for me?
Snake, mammals, and birds building here. Go inside, check it out. Ooh, nice and warm. Whoa. There's a big snake. Oh. North American porcupine. Looks like he's kind of cuddled up, keeping warm. What is this? Windows are covered. There's a new eagle. Oh, I see him. There he is, bald eagle. We got a Gila monster. Cool little hide-a-hole. And some red-tailed hawks. See, that one's got the nice red tail. Anybody in here? Oh, we have probably one of the cutest animals on the planet. The red panda. Looks like he's getting a little bit of a snack. It's a fun little exhibit. Lots of climbing branches and a little hide-a-den there. What do you see, buddy?
No.
Oh.
Dinner!
Yeah? Look at that face. Where are red pandas from? Do we know? Is there a sign? They are from Asia. And they are endangered.
Are they so cute?
You like the panda? I want to check out some rhinos. We're here inside the rhino building. They're not outside today because it's still kind of cold, but it's a nice little inside holding. They've got lots of great educational displays about how to train rhinos and things that go into that. Stuff about rhino horns, about hearing an elephant. Cool, charge it up, listen to the sounds. And of course, we've got our rhino. Now, I don't know, can we tell? Can you tell if it's a male or female rhino by looking at it?
You can tell by their horns.
By their horn?
There's the male.
It looks like the female's probably on the other side of that door. I can see some feet under there.
They're so cool. Their big savannah exhibit's closed. None of the animals are outside. This is the outside of the cheetah exhibit though. And we can actually view those guys inside, so we're gonna go check them out.
Kitty!
So here's
That's
the
right.
cheetah.
See the kitty.
This is probably one of my all-time favorite animals. I just love these guys.
Kitty.
So it looks like this guy has access to a few inside rooms. And he does have access to a small outside area overnight as well. So he can go out there if he wants to.
So we're here now in the giraffe barn. Again, these guys are inside for the winter, and look how tall this guy is. Where's his head? I don't know. There it is. There's his head. Wow. There's another one. Let's go see if we can see him over here. Whoa. Looks like they got two giraffes that I can see. Over here we got meerkats. There they are. And there's a keeper in there, looking like she's gonna feed. Maybe setting up some new play areas. Is he gonna go in? I think he is. Here we are at the brown bear exhibit. Very rocky, mountain-like area. And it looks like they have plans to redo this whole area to make this area more room for the bears here. And they got a pool. I imagine it's a waterfall in the summertime. The black bear looks like he's got a pretty cool climbing structure there they can climb on, and a little bathtub to hang out in. Pretty cool animal. Here he goes. Here we've got the tigers. They've got a nice big climbing spot. Such an awesome animal. Hey everyone, Josh and Angie here. Thanks for watching our video. We're now going to go to the review section, and we got 6 main points that we're going to review each of our videos on, and Angie will explain that.
Okay, so we just kind of wanted to go over some talking points that we had to look at what we thought of this zoo experience overall. So the first one we're looking at is kind of educational displays / signage. How well do they explain their areas? How well do they explain their animals? Is there a lot for guests to see and interact with? That type of stuff. Next one's enclosures and enrichment. Kind of exhibit design, looking at the overall view of the exhibits. How much does it have for the animals? Can we see signs of enrichment, which may or may not be visible? They could definitely be doing stuff that we are not able to see, but just in general looking at that. Looking at food that's available for guests to the zoo, if they have food, and then how good is the food, how good is the options, Do you need to bring your own things in if you're going to be there all day? Are you able to bring in things? So the next one's price. How good of a deal is this for you and your family? Is it something that's feasible? Is it something that you really have to save up for? Just overall cost of the zoo. And then we're looking at walking distance and setup of the zoo. Is it easy to get around? Is there a lot to walk? Is there stuff to fill up that walking space? And then the last one is just the gift shop, because it's a fun way to end or start your trip to the zoo. And we just kind of wanted to be able to talk about how their gift shops are and what they have to offer.
All right, so I'm going to start us off with the educational displays. There were some aspects, there were some areas of the zoo that had really great signage. You had your rhinos and your snow macaques, and even the mounted displays in the actual museum portion had really good signage, and the tigers as well. Their little tiger pavilion had great information available. There were some areas that really seemed to lack some information. The duck pond area, the petting zoo section, there just wasn't a lot of information about a lot of the animals that were there.
Or even what all of the animals were.
Or what they were, yeah. Sometimes, there wasn't pictures, it was just a word or different things like that. But overall, I think that the museum had probably some of the best information. There was names and information on all of the displays and mounts that were there. The fun push-button sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Very interactive for a non-living display.
Yeah. The rhino building area was also very nice. They had a lot of interactive displays areas in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a lot of fun things so you could try on rhino ears and listen to rhino sounds. Now, a lot of the ones that have the more signage are a lot of their newer ones, and that's understandable. You're going to have more well-placed information on some of your newer things. So maybe just some updates are needed in their future. But overall, I give educational displays a 2 out of 5.
So our next one we're looking at is the enclosures, exhibit designs, and enrichment for the zoo. And this is, again, kind of comes back to similar to the educational displays. Some of these areas were really good and some weren't. And again, this is a lot of the newer exhibits were really nice, and maybe some of probably the older ones were not. Looking at, again, the snow macaques, the tigers, the rhinos, even their savanna exhibit were all really nice, big exhibits. Had a lot of things for the animals to do, a lot of fun, just fun environment for them to be in. Now, some of them weren't so good. Looking at the whole section with the reindeer, the guanacos, the emus, that was just a very empty space. It wasn't a bad size, and the animals obviously had what they needed, but there just could have been a lot more in there. It was very flat, and there just wasn't really a lot going on in there. Same with like the primate building. The whole primate building there was a lot in there. There was clearly enrichment, there was a lot of toys, there was a lot for the animals to interact with, but overall exhibit space was kind of smaller, and a lot of concrete in there. So it's good that they try to work with the space they have and just add to it, but it would be nice to see some bigger space or updates of those type of buildings. Like looking at the bear exhibit, that the brown bears was all concrete. It was a nice large exhibit, but all concrete. Not a lot going on in there, but it looks like they are improving that. That is something that they're moving forward. So it's nice to see that the zoo is moving forward with that type of stuff. But again, it's that balance of there's some areas that were really nice to see and some that weren't. So overall, we give this section of the enclosures 3 out of 5.
I really liked the petting zoo. with the climbing.
That was a fun
The
one.
ladders. There was ladders and bridges all over for the goats and sheep to climb on. I thought that was really neat, unique. But yeah, I think a good 3 out of 5.
Another one I would say is the rhinos. You guys didn't really get to see a good shot of the outside. They had an inside area where we saw the rhinos. Beautiful signage. It was nice that you're able to see the rhinos no matter what the temperature. The inside area though was smaller for the rhinos, and again not as much going on for them, but their outside exhibit was gorgeous. It was huge, had a lot of natural foliage, and was really nice. So it's just kind of, again, just because the animal's in that smaller area one time might not mean they're always in that area. But it was, one area is nice, one's not so nice. So again, that balance.
Alright, so I'm going to talk about the food options that are available for guests. They did have a cafe kind of right in the middle of the whole zoo. However, it was not open. It seemed like it was only going to be open for summertime hours, and going there towards the end of the winter, not open. So unfortunately we were not able to try that, any of their options there. They did have food and drink available in their gift shop to purchase, and you all also could bring in your own picnic lunch if you wanted to. There's picnic tables and other areas around that you could, eat your own food if you wanted to. So for food options, 2 out of 5. If they could have, maybe another small snack bar or extend their food hours for the restaurant, we think that'd be good.
It would have been nice to be able to try the food, but we just didn't have that option. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the price of the zoo. This one costs $11 for entry for an adult at this time. And children 2 to 12 years old were $8. I do think it's nice they have different prices between children and adults, so it kind of helps a little bit. Children under 2 were free, which still works for us, but there were some extra costs for exhibits. Like they had a carousel and the train, which again we're not yet running for the season, but those were a little bit of an extra cost. And then they had that dragons rotational exhibit type thing, and that was an additional cost as well. But overall, the additional was only $3 per person. You could purchase it up front when you bought your admission tickets, or you could just buy it later on when you go to the dragons if you chose to go later. So it's not like you have to make the decision right away. So overall, it's really not a bad cost. We found the prices there to be pretty reasonable. They were definitely something that we think could be manageable for a family outing, as opposed to a higher priced area that you would have to save for. But we thought it was really good, so overall we give the price 4 out of 5.
Alright, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the walking distance and whole setup of the zoo. There was definitely some larger spans of walking area where there wasn't a lot of displays or anything. The whole front of the zoo was seemed very tight, and you went easily from one animal exhibit to the other, and it was real nice. And then when you wanted to get out to see the rhinos or the giraffes and everything, there was quite a distance, almost of nothing. And sometimes that's good. You can walk and talk with your kids or your family, and discuss things. But it's also nice to see things along the way. Maybe just general signs. Maybe in the summer they could have a keeper with an animal there talking or something. But kind of right in the middle is that cafe, so maybe it's like a leading up to the cafe. Hey, grab a snack while you're here on the way to Africa. We do have the map here, and so, pardon while I block our faces, but so this is the entrance in the museum here, and you can see everything is real nice and tight up here. And then you got to kind of cross the river, and then you get this larger Africa area, and there's even like a whole area but where the Africa savanna is that's just open, and it looks like it could be easily expanded into if they got more species and things. So hopefully that's in there, in their plans. So did you have anything to add on that, or?
Well, I mean, I think the flow in the beginning is very nice, and then as you get further out, it just seems like big gaps. Now, there are some bigger exhibits over there, so obviously they need the larger space for those exhibits. But even right during the season we went, the Savannah exhibit was closed. You could go view the giraffes in their winter holding, which was really nice to be able to have that option. But it meant we went down to Rhinos and then all the way up to the winter holding, and then back down to cheetahs, and there was a big gap of nothing between the giraffes and the cheetahs. And obviously that might not be something that could be fixed, because that's where the outside exhibit is and it just wasn't open. But it just seemed like a lot of walking of not much there. So overall I wouldn't say it's always a bad thing, but it does feel like there's some empty space there.
Yeah.
And if you're not as able to walk comfortably for long distance, it almost would be better just to stick to the front part of the zoo, because it's a bit of a hike to get out to the rest of it.
So overall, it's not bad, but it could be improved upon. Signage, small exhibits, things like that. So for walking distance and setup, 3 out of 5.
So looking at the overall score for what we just did for each of these segments, we give this zoo, the Great Plains Zoo, 3 out of 5. So there's things that we loved about the zoo, we think that are really good, and there's other things that we think could be improved upon. And it's an ever-evolving thing working in this field, and there's always stuff that's going to be improved upon. So it looks like they already have plans in place to improve their bear exhibit, and I'm sure there's more to follow after that. So it's still definitely worth checking out, and we had a great time visiting.
We did. All right. Also, if you wanted to see more of the museum, there's going to be a separate video for that, because there was so much involved in the museum part that just had to cut it to make some times right for this video, so it wasn't super long, take up all your whole day watching it. But go ahead, there'll be a little button here, and also be in the description to check out the whole inside museum tour. So
It's pretty cool.
Thanks guys for watching our video. If you liked what you see here, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below with things that you would like to see in future videos, places you want us to go. And if you really liked what you see, hit that subscribe button and you won't ever miss a video from us. Thanks for watching.
Bye.